Mario makes noises. He has phrases. We've heard him say some words. Name one. Give me one tagline from Link. Give me one.
Hiya! Spinning the sword.
Calling out all my nerds, freaks, and geeks. It's mob time.
Don't tune in cause it's showtime. Go ahead and call the gang up for the one time. Rap, Phoop, Ryun, got them on the line. And my life's still great, I'm doing just fine. Hands up.
What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Blerd Mob, your hub for all things black and nerdy. I'm your host, Phoop, joined by my co-host, Ryun. If you're listening to this on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any other streaming service, make sure you hit that follow button so you can get updates from the mob.
And if you combatants are watching us on YouTube, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those bell notifications for future uploads.
He already set in the mood for the episode.
Facts.
But what's been going on, Ryun?
Man, just chill. I know we talked about it off camera a little bit, but for the Texas residents, I done forgot the name of it. It's something going on in Grapevine. Let me break the energy. Main Street Fest in Grapevine, Texas. Beer Fest, multiple beer tastings. I had some great ciders, a nice IPA. I don't think I told you about that one food.
Okay.
It was a pretty good IPA. Like, because I know some people, if they don't like the taste of beer, they would probably only drink ciders, but the subtle flavors of it was solid. They also had like a food tasting where it's like Taste of Texas, so you get all the local breweries in Texas, and they match up with the food. It was solid. They had some they had some vendors, nice food spots, live music. It was a nice experience. Grapevine, Texas, Main Street Fest.
I'm telling you, it's the summer thing. Like, everybody's pulling out all of these outside events and stuff. Like, I'm excited. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. Definitely ready.
Now?
Same old. I'm really just ready to go on vacation. You ever get to that point when it's like, I just need to get to my vacation?
Most definitely. Same time last year was in Disney World, wasn't it? Or getting close to
it?
Or
getting ready. We're getting ready to go. That was fun. All those, the Apple memories, Amazon, Snapchat, all them. It's like, look what you were doing a year ago. And I was like, yo, don't remind me right now. I'm at work slaving for my 80 hours. And you are showing me all these Disney World pictures. Like, don't threaten me. I will leave right now and go straight to the airport.
Look, I'll dig into my savings right now and have $2,000 ready for Disney World. Don't play with me.
Don't play with me. Like, I will leave work and go straight to the airport. I won't even stop at the house to pack stuff. Like, I'll just buy shit at Disney World.
Man, bro, especially with that stuff you showed me about with Universal expanding, I can't wait for that.
I've been having a very fun time keeping up with that. Like, I've been watching the videos of Epic Universe expanding since like 2021, and they are making like progress. Like, I would not be surprised if they open that park up earlier than when they said it was, because it's looking like it's going to be very interesting.
Because the ETA was May 2025, right?
Summer 2025. You know, they like to, whenever they say summer 2025, don't think May. Summer 2025 like July, could be like July, August.
Yeah.
But I definitely would not be surprised if we get to May 2025 and majority of the park is done and they just go ahead and open it. Like, there might be like some minor inconveniences because the park is not fully done. But right. I would not be surprised if May 2025 comes around and it's like, you know, Epic Universe is open, because Super Nintendo World. So for people who have already went to Super Nintendo World at Universal Studios Hollywood, that is a smaller version.
Yeah.
The one that is opening in Epic Universe is going to be like the one in Universal Studios Japan. That's the big guy.
Exactly.
They doing How to Train Your Dragon. I wasn't a big How to Train Your Dragon fan, but the world itself, how they're setting it up, looks interesting. the Wizarding World stuff. They're doing a mix of Fantastic Beasts in the original Harry Potter series. So I'm interested to see how that's gonna come out. And then they're doing Universal Monsters, which is like your Frankenstein,
Right.
werewolf, Dracula, all those old horror movies.
I am interested in that. I'm actually really interested in that because I want to see if they're going to have some more scary rides similar to like the Mummy. Because I remember when I
Mhm.
first went to that, it scared the mess out of me. But
The only thing I've heard as far as like rides, they're doing like this family coaster that's supposed to be based off a werewolf movie that Universal made a while back. And there's supposed to be a dark ride. So the dark ride, I don't think it's gonna be a roller coaster, but I think I if I remember correctly from the last video I saw, they're going to be using the same technology that they used in the Harry Potter ride, the Forbidden Journey,
okay,
for this one.
I would
So
be excited for that.
I'm interested in the whole park itself.
Mm-hmm.
But I already know that it's gonna be a hot mess as far as like population once 2025 drop.
Oh,
They might have to see me like a year after that.
those lines gonna be so crazy. Like, unless we go like at the end of summer, like mid-September type
Like
timing,
they
when the
really
kids in
say
school,
like the best time to go is like October.
before the rain and all that start kicking in, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Or like in I also heard that is the best time to go is maybe like in December or so.
Mm-hmm.
So
I wouldn't be against like October, but especially because if we doing the Ministry of Magic with the Fantastic Beasts section, I want to wear my Harry Potter robes again. Got to. That was lit when we did it last time.
yeah, I'm excited for the whole thing. It's a very big project for Universal.
Mm-hmm.
Like their whole thing is like the worlds are like these hubs. So it's like when you walk like into the main part, it's not very obvious until you walk into that area that you're entering like this different universe.
Right.
So
That'd be dope.
yeah, and even at Universal and the Islands of Adventure, like at Universal, they've completely ripped out all the Shrek shit, and it's gonna be Minions. So that's
Yeah.
supposed to be dropping sometime this summer, and then it's a rumor, Islands of Adventure, that Poseidon's Fury area that was closed down when we went. There's a
Yeah.
rumor that they're gonna flip that to Legend of Zelda.
Hmm. Okay. Okay.
I'm interested to
Okay.
see what they're gonna implement if that's true. But that's the
I
rumor.
that could look really nice.
It could.
I'm not the hugest Legend of Zelda fan, but I respect the franchise.
If
Like, that would be dope.
I respect the franchise, and based on what Poseidon's Fury already looked like, I think it's fitting that Legend of Zelda is the next thing that they put right there. I think they
Yeah.
could reuse some of the elements and make
So
it
they
that.
really going into this Nintendo like partnership for Universal, huh? Like they really like delving deep into it.
Well, with Mario and Zelda being like I would say Pokemon too. I really don't know if they would ever like implement Pokemon into any of these theme parks, but Super Mario and Legend of Zelda are like one of their top selling IPs. So
Yeah.
with Super Nintendo World getting the bang that is already getting on top of the movie, like the games, and then they make the park, and then they made the movie. So it's like, why not expand into their next best selling IP, which is Legend of Zelda?
Yeah, and then honestly, if they do a third one, Pokemon would be the immediate runner
Pokemon
up.
is the obvious choice, but I'm very interested to see how they would implement that.
If they did Pokemon in Universal, stuff that they would have to do that I'm pretty sure they would do. You would need the Pokemon Center and the Pokemart. It depends on which generation of Pokemon. I think if they did like a Lugia Ho-Ho ride, like a roller coaster, and you got the birds attached, that could be cool. But anything past Sinnoh, like if you get a black and white, I think you
I
may lose
think
people.
I Yeah. I definitely think it depends on what generation. I honestly think if they were to ever do something, they're gonna go with the OG Pikachu and
Yeah,
all them. Like
because everybody knows
that's
it.
just quick. That's quick money. Like my brother
Hmm.
knows who Pikachu is, and he don't even watch Pokemon. He ain't touched
Exactly.
Indigo League, but he know who Pikachu is.
Exactly.
And my only question is like, how do you make it interactive? Like Pokemon, the big thing is the Pokemon, but they're not real. You know.
So it's like one having them all around. Like when I walk through, because there's like stuff you got to bring in, like walking through the tall Pokemon grass and then a Pokemon pop out at you. The fact that
I
every
could.
generation of Pokemon has like a lake, there's always a forest, there's a cave at some point in every form.
Mm-hmm.
If they can integrate that, probably even like the Safari mode that be in a lot of Pokemon
I was just about
games.
to say that. So this is me pulling something out my ass. And Nintendo and Universal, if you listening to this and you was like, that's a good idea. I want my check. But let me say
Facts.
this. The Super Mario ride, Bowser's Koopa's Challenge, it's called Koopa's Challenge in Japan, but I think they changed it to like Bowser's Challenge in the US, does augmented reality with the Mario Kart
Hmm.
stuff. So you put on the goggles and you could start seeing like the Mario Kart elements through that. If they made a Pokemon Safari ride with augmented reality for the Pokemon, the Pokeballs, all of that type
Catching them.
stuff, that would be dope.
It would be, and depending on how they want to do the architecture, how uh, in most of the Pokemon games they have an area where there's like a huge shopping mall. I think it was really big in like Ruby and Sapphire, or it was the Sinnoh League Pearl and Diamond. Can't
Mm-hmm.
remember. If it's so much stuff they can integrate. It's so much stuff they can integrate.
I would want to know what they would get rid of to implement Pokemon though.
Yeah.
They would have to get rid of something. Like Epic Universe would be the perfect spot for them to do something with Pokemon, but they already decided what those 4 sections are going to be. They do have other room for expansion, but
Right.
Universal is doing this thing with like, okay, we're implementing something new, so something has to go. Like
Right.
with Harry Potter, the Jaws ride went. That whole area went. Minions is getting implemented, so they snatched out Shrek. They snatched out the Jimmy Neutron ride.
Yeah.
With the rumor about the Legend of Zelda, Poseidon's Fury is shut down. So it's kind of like, what has to go for them to implement Pokemon?
They'll just have to buy more land.
Yeah.
Because if they did Pokemon, honestly, that could be its own universe to a degree. Because you know how Pokemon got all the biomes and all, like you got the snowy mountains, the caves, beach areas, forest areas. They could do a lot with that.
Honestly, that could be Universal's Animal Kingdom if they really wanted to.
Facts.
That could be their Animal Kingdom, but it's Pokemon with like you said, the different biomes. They could do something cool with all of the generations of Pokemon just live in these biomes.
Exactly.
It doesn't necessarily have to be a certain generation of Pokemon. Like I could find a Pikachu the same spot I find one of those newer generation electric Pokemon.
True. And I don't know if they would integrate animatronics. Like, what if there's like a little aquarium section and you could see like a Gyarados in the water? Like,
That would
that'd be
be dope.
cool.
But I honestly think they might do like the screens for like stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
it may be like a real deal aquarium with like a couple fish in there, but the Gyarados is the part that's CGI.
That'll be cold though. That'll
But
be real
no,
cold.
it would be cold. But I think some of these theme parks are stepping away from doing heavy animatronics because there's a lot of maintenance with
Yeah.
animatronics, and I think
Yeah.
with the way that everything is going, I think they're really pushing more like CGI, augmented reality, 3D stuff like that.
Bro, imagine if you went to a Pokemon aquarium and you see like a Kyogre swimming towards you.
Man, I want all of the Magikarps.
Facts.
I want all the Magikarps.
Bro, I'm walking in there. I'm finding some way to safely strap on my one company Pokeballs. I'm cosplaying as Ash. Watch me.
Hey, listen. But speaking of Pokemon and games, let's go ahead and step into our first topic of the day. You know what it had to be. It couldn't be anything else. We have to talk about the Mortal Kombat 1 announcement. Before we get into the discussion, let me just state the facts. Mortal Kombat 1 is supposed to be launching on September 19th, 2023, but if you paid for the premium edition or the collector's edition, you get early access starting on September 14th, 2023. It takes place in the new era created by Fire God Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 11. The game will include cross-play and cross-progression, new features including a new fighting system, new game modes, new finishing moves, and the cameo fighters assist base feature. The beta drops in August. The characters that have been officially announced are Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, Raiden, Kung Lao, Kitana, Melina, Shang Tsung, and Johnny Cage. And based on a leak from Amazon Italy, we have gotten a list of the DLC characters, which include Quan Chi, Omni-Man, Ermac, Peacemaker, Takeda from Mortal Kombat 10, and Homelander.
Omni-Man gonna be a cold bonus character. Hold on. You said a lot of good stuff. But Omni-Man, that is the perfect addition. I'm just being honest. If they was gonna pull any non-Mortal Kombat character, Omni-Man fits.
Omni-Man is gonna be nice, but I think as a conflict, to me, it's a conflict putting Omni-Man and Homelander. I know you haven't seen The Boys, but Omni-Man and Homelander basically have the same power set. They're basically off-brand versions of Superman.
Right.
So I feel like it's kind of other than those two, I think they have a good mix of characters for DLC, but like Omni-Man and Homelander are basically like the same person.
Yeah.
So is it really like you really just gave me one character in the form of two?
They could get rid of Homelander then. I need Omni-Man.
I think both of them are gonna have really cool movesets, but I kind of feel like one of those you could have saved one of those for another combat pack instead of the initial DLC.
But bro, that roster, like taking out the DLC, that roster is solid. But Mortal Kombat normally has like what, at least 20 characters?
I don't think they're done announcing. I'm hoping that they're not done announcing the characters because I already know what you're about to get into. Like the Mortal Kombat roster is huge.
It's big now.
Even if you hadn't played Mortal Kombat from the beginning, Mortal Kombat 11 showed you firsthand how big that roster is without DLC characters. And
let me look up.
And I think they're not done. They can't be done because they haven't even showed the special ops characters. We didn't see Sonya. The only reason why we officially got Johnny Cage is because of the premium coming with the DLC with the skin for Johnny Cage. But they haven't announced Sonya. They haven't announced Jax. And off rip, you can't have Mortal Kombat without special ops. Without Sonya and Jax. So I don't think they're done. And I honestly feel like that Mortal Kombat 1 is that opportunity to bring everybody back. If this is a official reset of the franchise, just bring everybody back and just start killing them as the games. This is the perfect opportunity for them to go from Mortal Kombat 1 to Mortal Kombat 11 again with no issues.
Exactly, because they ain't announced Baraka, they ain't announced Goro. They got a few folks they gotta do. I still want my girl Jade back.
That's what I was just saying. They haven't announced Jade. We don't know if Kontain is coming back. Honestly,
they didn't say Shao Kahn in the DLC characters, right?
Shao Kahn was not announced. Or what's her name? With the Black Canary.
Not Devorah. You said the one
Kitana's mama.
Oh,
Sindel. They didn't announce Sindel. Like, I'm honestly, and it could be for a reason. With Liu Kang rewriting the whole timeline, it's at this moment. My big question is who did you allow to live in this new era, and who did you was like, we don't really need you. You know?
Exactly. And then with the cameo characters, it depends on how they're doing that. Because if it's just assist based,
So
you're not playing as the characters. It might be like some tag team. They come in, throw a few punches, got a bonus move.
So for the cameo fighters, for the assist based feature, I'm interested to see how they integrate that into the game, but I don't think I care too much for it.
Right.
And that just goes into like with all of these announcements, there's still so many questions that I have for this game, because why include the cameo fighters? What's the real reason why they're here? And are they going to be significant enough that I'm going to be like, okay, I really need to learn how to play as these cameo fighters? Because what I read was that you're still going to pick an initial character to play as that's
Yeah.
on the roster, and you just pick
Right.
one of the cameo fighters as backup. And if it gets to the point that I don't really give a fuck to pick any one of these cameo fighters to really assist me, what's the point? So I really would like to see like how significant are these cameo fighters going to be in this game.
Yeah, because I'm gonna be honest. In real life, I would have preferred just like a tag team feature
Or like
where
what
I
they've
can
been
actually
doing,
switch back and forth into a
like
new character.
that, or just keep it how they did Injustice 2 and Mortal Kombat 11, is that you have that we are main characters, but we're on this story together. And when it gets to the fight, I can either be Scorpion or Sub-Zero, Liu Kang or Kung Lao,
Yeah. But it's looking like that cameo fighters, that might be something they just fully integrate into multiplayer. And I'm like, it depends on how they do it. Because who introduced, it was Mortal Kombat 10 that introduced like the little different forms of a character. Like, oh, you get Fire Fist Liu Kang, or you get Red
The
Aura Liu Kang.
variations, yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if that's still going to be here. You know what I mean?
I could see them getting rid of variations, but I also see them not getting rid of variations, because variations was something that was that next level of Mortal Kombat. Because when Mortal Kombat 10 came out, when you and me used to play, we would both get Liu Kang, but I would always play with a different variation of Liu Kang than you did.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, you pick the same character as me. Like, no, we have the same character, but we don't have the same moveset.
Yeah, but it's like I'm still thinking like, most of the stuff sounds alright. It's just that cameo, depending on how they do it, I still think I probably would just prefer tag team, especially if they have an overloaded roster to where I would love like 2 or 3 multiple fighters.
And it's possible, going back to the roster, it's possible that the roster might be limited just to add more significance to these cameo fighters.
If they make my girl Jade a cameo and not a main fighter, I'm gonna be so upset. Upset.
They really, I really need to see some gameplay. I definitely am going to play the beta in August, but you guys are really going to have to show me why these cameo fighters are significant. Because at this moment, I could care less.
Yeah, I would have preferred. I would have preferred tag team mode. I would have preferred that.
Yeah,
I would have preferred that.
But I do want to get into the trailer. The graphics look insane. I just want to say, I told y'all so. I said this. I said if anybody had to go against Tekken 8, it was going to be Mortal Kombat. It was going to have to be Mortal Kombat. I'm looking at the videos from the Street Fighter 6 beta on Twitter, and it looks fun.
Street Fighter's a specific taste.
Right, it looks fun, but if you look at the graphics from Tekken 8, Mortal Kombat was the only one that was going to meet that standard. And from the trailer, it looks like it is. It looks like it is. Those graphics are so nasty that the fatalities are getting hard to watch. That ending fatality when Liu Kang did them dragons on Shang Tsung and took his head and dragged it, used it to split his body.
Hey, bro, I was like, Liu Kang ain't supposed to be doing all that.
The fatalities, big ups to Mortal Kombat for, as they made a new installment of the game, that the fatalities just kept looking better. But y'all, it's getting realistic. Like the fact I was like, what is he doing? Like
these fatalities finna make you go like, don't do that
honestly,
no more.
like you was talking about like what Omni-Man, like let's go from animated Omni-Man and the damage that like how gruesome and brutal Invincible
that
was.
train scene.
Yes, and dragging that to what they could really make his fatalities in Mortal Kombat is going to, I have to let you guys know, it's going to be disgusting in a good way, in a bad way.
Yeah.
It's going to be disgusting.
And bro, the way the story is looking, like, because the way they displayed in the trailer, it's like some rivalries are going to become friendships, new rivalries or plays on old rivalries may be changed. Like, okay, Sub-Zero and Scorpion kind of squashed their beef once they realized who the real enemy was.
Or never had it to begin with. Like the whole thing being a reset is that some of
Exactly.
these well-known beefs could be non-existent at this point.
Exactly. So I'm like, I'm interested to see what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, are they finna get to boxing? Who's the new enemy? Like this?
My one thing that stood out to me in the trailer is that like they kept doing this repetitive of like you choose your own destiny. Like you could choose to be rivals or you can choose to be brothers. You can choose to, squash the beef, or you like when they zoomed in on Katana and Melina and it was like you guys could live in peace or you guys can bring back up this sibling rivalry again. And it to me it kind of feels like that this type of game is going to be like a choices.
Yeah.
Like do I want to start back the beef between Sub-Zero and Scorpion, or did I really like how they did in Mortal Kombat 11 with them coming together for the greater good? So let's just squash the beef and see what this can be.
Exactly. It's going to be interesting because then I want to know are how many RPG like elements. Like, is it just going to be like regular choice? Because I think Mortal Kombat 11 you could pick like your fighter that you fight with.
Mm-hmm.
But is there finna be like real changes to the story? Like, could you and me experience different sides of a story depending on how we make choices?
That's what it sounds like to me.
Mm-hmm.
With the groupings, and it all goes back to like the groupings. Katana and Melina. There's a lot of choices that you can make with those two characters. They can send the story two different ways. Scorpion and Sub-Zero, there's a lot of different choices you can make to have that story go different ways. And even with Liu Kang, Raiden, and Kung Lao, there's even in that with them being cool, you can make all three of them have beef. Like just based on how the story goes.
Yeah, and I want to know, even though it was a reset, do people still have their past memories? Are they still aware and they're just in a new world? You know what I'm saying?
That's a good point too. Like how
when Sub-Zero and Scorpion walked up on each other, it almost looked like there was some familiarity. Yeah. Like
now, it could be. That's a very good question. But like how much did Liu Kang keep to stay the same? And it could be a ghost memory. Like you ever seen those shows where people lose their memories but then they see somebody in like that unconscious instinct is like, I need to whoop your ass. I don't know why I need to whoop your ass, but just something in me is telling me to whoop your ass. So that could be, it could be that with Sub-Zero and Scorpion, like that one scene could have been like, I don't like you. And Scorpion was like, I know you from somewhere.
I could work with you, but I don't think I mess with you for real.
Yeah, it's something about you I don't really fuck with. But it could be that they could have like a ghost of memories, like something in them unconsciously is like on defense mode when they see these people, but they don't really know why.
Exactly.
And that could be why Shang Tsung probably came up. You'd be like, oh, you thought you was gonna rewrite history? Let me show up and shake the table a little bit.
And that plays a part too, because I'm like, for him to be angry, did Liu Kang just make him a bad person all over again? Like he had to like come back and be like, "Oh, this a new world.
Or
I'm
like,
still finna take over."
I could imagine Shang Tsung figuring out if this is a reset and Liu Kang know what happened to everybody, but y'all just don't know. I could see Shang Tsung on the outside being the first one to be like, so that's what you did.
Exactly.
Okay. And start, shaking the table.
Exactly. Or on some, you became a god, now I want to become a god. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
There's no telling what
Like,
Shang Tsung would try to do.
like he pops up and he's like, I remember you, Liu Kang. And that ain't
I know what
fair.
happened.
And that ain't fair.
You take Raiden's powers, but I can't.
But I can't. Okay. I'm interested to see what comes after this point. The fact that it's dropping in September, we're 4 months away,
Yeah.
is insane.
Nah, I respect NetherRealm for that too. They said, "Nah, we done. We pretty much done with the game. It got to be gold by now."
Yeah.
Ooh, here we go. We ready.
It's like we have room to think, but we don't. We don't have too much room to think too much about this game because at this point it's going. In 3 months, the beta is going to drop. I'm pretty sure they're going to show a couple more trailers. IGN, GameSpot, all of them are probably going to get first touch on the gameplay features and everything that's coming. Like, at this point, we're running.
Yeah. But, bro, there's going to be a lot of combos to learn with Tekken and Dragon Ball Budokai Tenkaichi 4. There's a lot of combos to learn. Gonna be context switching between games.
I don't care. Now, with Tekken, they did say that one of the new things that were coming with Tekken 8 is that they're making I won't call it a dumbed down, but like a simple version of the combos. Because in Mortal Kombat, when you press pause and you have that main combo menu, that's like, here's these simple combos that you can learn right quick. But then if you actually go to the move set, here's everything. So Tekken is supposed to be doing something like that with some of the combos, they have a simplified version of some of the combos that they have.
Right.
And I thought that was pretty cool because them Tekken combos be hard as hell.
They do. But one thing I like that Mortal Kombat 11 did, you could pin your combos, I think like 5 of them, to the screen while you're fighting. So if you still learning, you could just look up. I kind of did like that feature.
I think you could do the same. I think I saw something in the Tekken 8 gameplay that you can do that as well, that you could pin it to the screen.
That would be dope.
So I'm excited for both. We told you guys, even though we may have had some wrong information initially, we told y'all that this is the year for fighting games. Even if Dragon Ball is not coming out this year, Street Fighter, we still don't know when exactly Tekken 8 is supposed to be coming out, and then Mortal Kombat. I honestly think that Tekken is going to come out this year. I know they said somewhere between 2023 and 2024, but I just don't feel like y'all can let Mortal Kombat come out September and don't turn around and drop Tekken 8. There's no way. It's no way Namco is going to let Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat drop without them.
I will say this though. The time that they release would be very. They would have to take a lot of time to figure out when they want to release, because even if they drop in Mortal Kombat, you're still picking one or the other fighting game. Mm-hmm. Not a lot of people are like us where they just get all the games they want.
But my thing is that Tekken has already shown so much. We are getting
is true.
We are getting character trailers every other week for Tekken. True. They've already shown gameplay. We know it's coming.
To be honest, I'm surprised it ain't already been announced that it was going to come before Mortal Kombat, because it looks complete.
I don't know what they're waiting for, but at this point, that between 2023 and 2024 needs to go.
Yeah.
And y'all need to drop it as soon as possible. Like, even if it has to be holiday 2023. Like, y'all, at this point, you cannot let Street Fighter 6 and Mortal Kombat get the jump on you.
Because we're almost at the halfway mark of the point of the year. What other games are supposed to be coming out? The Assassin's Creed Mirage games.
Spider-Man's supposed to be coming out.
Spider-Man.
So, but I'm just saying fighting games, period.
Yeah.
Fighting games, period. Because Tekken 7 came out, and I think maybe a year or two after Mortal Kombat 11 came out.
Mm-hmm.
But I honestly, the only reason why I said that they have to do something now is because you've already been showing gameplay.
Right.
It would have been different had we not known anything about Tekken 8. Mortal Kombat 1 came out, and then it's like, okay, is Tekken going to do something? But you guys have already shown us so much.
Yeah, they shown us more than Mortal Kombat, meaning they should be coming out in like August. They should be coming out in
So
August.
like I would not be surprised if in the next month or a couple weeks we get a official release date on Tekken. I would not be surprised.
Mm-hmm. I need to watch these character trailers. I ain't gonna cap. I've been missing all of them.
I've been keeping up with them.
I need to go back and watch them.
But moving on to the second topic, I do want to have our usual seasonal anime discussion on what's been going down. I mainly want to talk about Demon Slayer Season 3, Hell's Paradise, and I did watch the first episode of Mashle.
I still need to watch the most recent episode of Demon Slayer, but how you feel? Let's. I know we're going to enjoy Hell's Paradise, but let's talk about Mashle. How you feel about it?
That shit was funny.
I knew you would like it.
Like, just like from that first scene of when he broke that door and he was like, let me go fix it. And he started banging that junk sideways. I was like, this is stupid. But when it got to the end of the episode, because, you know, when you see the intro, it's like, okay, he doesn't have that mark on his face, but he has the mark on his face in the intro. So, like, how do we get to that point? Mm-hmm. And I think it's a very interesting concept. So now I know you already watched like the 6 episodes.
Yeah,
since
I'm
already
fully
been
caught
out.
up. Yeah,
but it definitely grabbed my attention because it's one of those, hey, you don't have these special abilities, but we need you to blend in with these people who have the special abilities. So I'm really interested to see how they do that going forward. But it definitely has my attention, and the humor that's in it, I like it. I like it.
I'll be real, because I ain't gonna spoil nothing for you. It's a solid anime. Like, if you, for the folks who ain't checked out, if you like One Punch Man, it's literally like One Punch Man's stupidity and humor mixed in with some random mangaka's opinion of Harry Potter. Like, legit, there are so many Harry Potter elements in this. Like, essentially, somebody in Japan said, I want to make a parody anime that's as funny as One Punch Man, but I love Harry Potter. How can I make this happen? And they did it.
Here's my favorite franchise and my favorite anime. Boom, Mashle.
That's it. That's exactly what happened, bro. And it's executed pretty well. They're doing a good job. Like, it caught my attention. I had to fall off of other animes. Like Konosuba and Dr. Stone. I loved the original Konosuba. I enjoyed the first 3 seasons of Dr. Stone. But I was like, I'm watching too much. So y'all are going to be put on hold. Yeah. I'm watching everything else episodically, though.
Yeah, so I watched the first episode this morning, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. So it's definitely been added to my roster for this season.
Nice.
But let's go backwards. Let's get into Hell's Paradise.
Fire. Absolutely.
It's dope.
Absolute heat.
It's dope. I haven't watched the episode that dropped today, but we've got to the point where they found out the damn, I forgot what they called those beings that got the elixir of life. What are those folks called?
I haven't caught up with all the names yet because they don't reiterate it enough. We'll just say the monsters on the island.
Paradise monsters. But not the monsters, the people monsters.
Oh yeah, they're like miniature gods or whatever.
Yeah,
they're not hermit. They didn't call. I think they alluded to them being hermits, but that's not the name they gave them.
I forgot the name that they gave them. But Hell's Paradise, one, I have to give the ups to Mappa. Once again, Mappa takes a W.
Yeah.
Once again, Mappa takes a W. But it's given me, as far as like maturity and gore, it's very much Chainsaw Man, but I really enjoy the story as well.
It's funny that you say that because I think the manga community has coined it like the Dark 3 or something for Chainsaw Man, Hell's Paradise, and Jujutsu Kaisen. Mm-hmm. Like they basically like associate those 3 franchises together. And I can see why. Because Hell's Paradise,
I definitely see like the line between Chainsaw Man and Hell's Paradise is a straight line for me. Like from episode 1, it was a straight line.
Gruesome, not afraid to attack mature topics. Mm-hmm. They had them women in that tree who turned to
The one that was a woman and then he turned into a man. but then like the themes of it as well,
Yeah.
and then it finding a way to sneak in like that humor inside of
Yeah.
as well.
And Gabi Maru is a very solid MC.
Yeah.
He's my type of MC. Like
I
I
like him.
relate to MCs like him more than I relate to like the Narutos and them.
Mhm.
And I mess with it. And his little relationship with what's the old
Sagiri.
girl name? Sagiri. I like that little bond that they're developing, especially because she cold. Like when we found out that she actually fire,
Yeah.
I was like, okay.
And it was just like, you know, you just not real confident about yourself right now. But when she was like, let me shake this shit off right quick, I was like, okay.
And all the rest of it was like, she's a woman. That is the reason why she'll never be the leader. But her sword skills.
Hey, that whole episode when that dude was like, you need to go home. Like, you don't need to be here. Like, when I finish fighting this monster, I will escort you on the first boat back. Like, listen, it's the shit's getting real. We need you to birth babies. And she was like, number one, fuck you.
Exactly. Forget you. I'm a samurai too.
And then she's been showing it. She's been like very headstrong, but also very compassionate at the same time. Like she is a very well developed female character.
Yeah.
And I like
definitely. I also like how they're, because I don't know if they're doing a full-fledged character ensemble, but I like that they're showing us what other characters are going through to like really let us, the viewer, know like, hey, this stuff is like dangerous. Like the guy and the samurai who the folks who try to sell out and then they realize ain't no getting off this island.
Yeah.
You see the two brothers who one became the samurai and all of them working together and they're fighting. They actually fighting the folks that Gabimaru just learned about.
And then what's the other guy that's with the... There's another group. I just can't remember their names, but...
Oh, the one who ended up losing his hand or something because he had to cut it off and everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, that group. It's so much going on at once. Like, arguably, I might have to rewatch the past few episodes because it's like so many animes going through my head at the same time. But it's good.
It's good, and I honestly think that they're showing like these different people because everybody has a different piece of this puzzle. Like the episode that I watched last night is when Gabimaru and them were with the tree guy and the little girl, and the tree guy's telling them like about those people monsters. But the brothers have already, you know, they've already banged with the people monsters. So it's kind of like we're going through their stories because we're getting pieces of information that Gabimaru and them haven't gotten yet. So then it feeds into that interest and that suspense. It's like,
and that anticipation.
That anticipation of like, when you do run into these guys, how are you going to handle that situation? Because we already seen how they get down.
And the fact that they working with that Kunoichi and she ain't even on their side.
She is so funny. She is so funny. That tree man was like, you know, I'll take you to your village. I got food. She was like, we don't trust you. We just met you. I got bath water. Let's go.
I mess with her. And all the anime 2D girl lovers on Twitter, they went crazy.
Hey, that one scene, it was that one scene, and I was like, you know, I can't even blame them. That's like the Maki equivalent of this anime. That scene when she did that move on Gabimaru, I was like, I don't blame you.
They finna go crazy with that. Like I was like, I know what y'all like. I see it.
It already happened. As soon as I finished watching the episode, the clips just start popping up, and I was like, "Yep, okay."
All over the timeline.
Yep, okay. Yeah, she can flip me any day. Okay.
Look, I'm not mad at what y'all like. It's cool.
I'm not mad.
Like what you like.
I'm not mad. But moving on to the last one, we have Demon Slayer Season 3, The Swordsman Village arc. Now, this is a very interesting conversation for us because we've already read the manga. But so how do you feel about the arc as it translates from manga to animation?
The animation going crazy.
Honestly. As always.
Everybody was like, let's go back a few episodes. When Muichiro first got introduced and like the demon came in. No, not when he first got introduced, but when him and Tundra were having that one-on-one and the demon walked in and Muichiro just hit that little rotation or unsheathed his sword before Tundra could even react. Missed breathing. And I was like,
Hey,
this wasn't in the manga. Did I see this in the manga? I don't remember this.
I don't remember when we said this. This may have been a previous Demon Slayer conversation, but I know one of your biggest things was how are they going to animate these breathing styles going forward? And that misbreathing, that's hey,
That's probably the most fire, bro. Like, not even gonna cap.
that is next. That's next to sound for me.
Missed breathing. Like, I was like, huh?
But because it's smooth, like how do you personify mist? And that's it. It's smooth, it's slow, it catches you before you realize what's going on. Like, you know how you drive in fog, but you're already in the fog, and it's like,
yeah, you already there.
But it's like it creeps up on you, and the animation style is like it creeps up on you.
So fire, bro. So fire. And this is I'm not gonna spoil nothing for y'all anime onlys. This is where the turning point comes into the franchise.
We need to have a conversation offline because I honestly feel like season 3 is going to end where I think it is. I think it's going to end at the point where shit hits the fan.
Yeah, because as far as we've made into the village, yeah.
I think this season is going to end when shit hits the fan.
Unless it's only 10 episodes, yeah, it's finna go down.
I think we're getting really close to where they're about to end those demons. And when they end those demons, shit is about to hit the fan. And that's all I have to say on that.
And bro, they finally learning more about the history of the Hinokami Kagura. They like y'all finna see some. Y'all have seen the upper level, upper moves.
They are building. I like how they're building this up.
And them upper moves go crazy. Y'all talking about his design, saying he's the best design ever. That man is evil.
I'm ready for Doma. Doma is my favorite. I'm ready.
Doma for you just brought up the memory of that Doma.
Doma is my favorite. I'm ready. Like, we're getting close to the end. I just want to let the animes only know that we're getting to the end. And
tears will fall.
Yeah, it's about to get something serious. But the animation is on point as always. The humor is still there. The heartstrings are still there. I just watched last week's episode when they finally get into Ginya's backstory.
Yeah.
Like it's I would say that Demon Slayer has not lost its thump.
And you know what's crazy? That episode where they ended with Ginya with the demon eyes, and everybody was like, what is this guy? And it just ended right there. I was like, that was perfect. Y'all did that perfect, because that's how I was when I was reading the manga. I was like, yeah.
I was like, what? Why is he foaming? What? Why is he foaming at the mouth?
What's going on? Like, who is this guy?
Demon Slayer has not lost his thumb. It hasn't.
Hey.
I don't think it will. As long as they keep with this animation studio, as long as they, keep doing their thing and adapting. I just wish they would stop doing stupid shit when it's time for a new season. That's my only gripe with Demon Slayer.
Yeah.
When you guys keep doing this stupid shit when it's time to do a new season. The movie being turned into episodes, then we having to watch it's the movie, the movie, like
they milk it. They're gonna milk this franchise, bro. Like this last arc. Let's just be honest. They gonna milk this last arc crazy. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull an Attack on Titan type scenario.
I was just about to say that. Because shit's finna get real, and I just don't. Some of those pieces that I remember from the manga, I just don't see that being a 20-minute episode. I don't. I'm gonna tell y'all for real up front. I do not see these last couple chapters of Demon Slayer being episodes.
Yeah, they they're gonna be movies turned episodes turned specials. It's
it's about to go down. You heard it here first on the Blerd Mob podcast. It's about to go down for the Demon Slayer fans.
because if I look at my manga, I want to say we only are like 5 volumes away from the end, ain't it?
Last time I checked, we was like in 13 or 14.
And it's 27 volumes total of Demon Slayer, if I remember. Okay, we getting there.
But I'm just saying, like the taking it from reading to animation, like some of those panels could be pretty quick.
Yeah, that's the thing. The last few volumes of Demon Slayer, it's none but action. It ain't much talking.
So it's like they could either drag it out or shit finna go.
Yeah, because most of those last 2 volumes, that's none but action. That's none but action.
It's just that one thing about Demon Slayer that I wish they would stop doing. I don't see them not stop doing it.
Yeah.
But I really just wish they would.
Yeah, it's not gonna add this. Demon Slayer's become like the most popular anime at this point. Like, and not in terms of like legacies like Naruto, but in terms of like right now, folks buying the merch, folks are eyeing it. Little kids talking about it to their teachers.
They got a ride at Universal Studios Japan. Like, come on.
It's that anime right now, so they're just gonna milk it.
And I'm gonna watch it regardless. I have that one little nitpick, but I'm gonna keep watching.
Facts.
But
Facts.
The last topic, speaking of curses we wish to break. The Super Mario Bros. Movie has just hit 1 billion. It is in the top 5. It's actually number 1. I looked that up today. It's actually number 1 for the highest grossing video game movies as of 2023. And with that, y'all know how Hollywood works. That this movie has success, so let's make some more. It came out that the developers of The Legend of Zelda are interested in making a movie after the success of Super Mario Bros. And Nintendo and Sega have started discussions about producing a Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games film. Based on how they've done Super Mario Bros. And I even want to bring up Detective Pikachu because Detective Pikachu is fire. But in Sonic, once they fixed the Sonic design, that came out to be really good.
I did enjoy the first movie.
Is the curse broken for the video game to movie pipeline? Can they do this?
I think what it is, and I don't want nobody who's a fan of these games to get mad at me because I love them as well. I'm just not the biggest fan of Zelda, though, as previously mentioned. I think when they stick to the everyone rated games, the ones that are meant for kids, and it translates well into the screen, I think that is great. But the only stuff I worry about is because we forget that Assassin's Creed was made into a video game too. I mean, was made into a movie too,
and that didn't do well.
And that was trash.
Uncharted didn't do well.
Like, a lot of those still were not good at all. Dragon Ball was an anime first, but when they turned that, the pipeline seems like it's working well for family-oriented games. It seems like it's working.
I would agree with that.
Cyberpunk somehow did a great job turning into an anime, which was interesting. I loved it. But
I'm going to let you finish. I got a counterpoint on that.
It depends on who's producing it. What I would say is it depends on who's producing it, if they're a fan and what division is. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So to counterpoint your Cyberpunk thing, I think with series, it's different. I think series have a lower risk of audience who they need to watch this as movies does. Because if they turned around and said they were making a Cyberpunk movie, that's a different level of expectation than saying we're doing a Cyberpunk anime.
And if they was going for live action, it would be completely different too.
Exactly. So I think for Cyberpunk, going the series route worked out very well for them. Versus if they said, hey, we're going to make a Cyberpunk movie, because that's two totally different expectations.
Yeah.
I agree with you. I think the video game to movie pipeline has been working really well for the family friendly franchises. But I also think that the people who made those movies really care about the franchise.
Yeah,
Nintendo was directly involved in the Super Mario Bros. Movie, which is to me, a good piece of the reason why it came out like it did. The
hmm,
references, the storyline, keeping it true to Mario fans and making it and I think Illumination came into the point of making it enjoyable for little kids and family.
exactly.
Detective Pikachu. If you could see, have you seen Detective Pikachu?
No, I haven't.
When you watch Detective Pikachu, it is a family friendly story, but if you look at the way that those Pokemon look, that was care.
Yeah,
And they didn't just pick specific Pokemon to be in this movie. All of them are in this movie. And the way that they look, there's no cheap CGI. Mewtwo looks dope. I saw Growlers. I saw like 20 Growlers running around, Arcanines, Pikachus, Blastoids, all of them. Like the designs on those Pokemon were amazing. And that's care. And
yeah.
if we even want to talk about Sonic, despite how it happened when they fixed the design and did
It looked good.
Sonic and did Tails and did Knuckles, it looked good. So I feel like as long as from the video game to movie pipeline, people really have to care about these franchises and
And
not just trying to make a blockbuster movie because let's go back to the Avatar the Last Airbender thing. That guy didn't even watch Avatar and was just like, yeah, we're just gonna make it a movie, and we see how that turned out.
let's not even talk about the most recent Mortal Kombat movie, which was trash.
Yo, let's
Like,
let's hold on. They just casted what is her name? Is it Tati Gabriel from You? She's been in a couple stuff because she was in Uncharted too. She
yeah, I
just
know who you're
got
talking about.
casted as yeah,
Jade.
Tati Gabriel just got casted as Jade in Mortal Kombat 2. And I am no better than a man because I was like, you know what, the sequel might not be a bad idea.
See, but
But to your point, yes.
and here's the thing: it depends on how they want to bring these franchises to life. Because one thing that Nintendo made sure to do with that Super Mario movie, they said we're bringing our video game to life. We're not making this live action. This looks like a high quality video game. Now I know Sonic did something different and Detective Pikachu did something different, but I want these producers to not think everything has to be human live action.
Let's talk about
Super
that.
Mario proved that if you do quality 3D animation,
You got
it
a movie.
works.
You got a
And
movie.
if
But and when you mention that, so they say Nintendo and Sega are in discussion to make a Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. On which front is that movie happening? That's my biggest concern about that because Sonic has already went the live action route and Super Mario Bros is going the animated route. What front is this Olympic Games supposed to be on?
I'm gonna be honest, the only way it can look good is if it's animated. I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
That might be controversial. The only way it can look good is if they do it just like they did the Mario games. The games
And
on the big screen
and
with great graphics.
I really think they have to pull away for Sonic. I feel like they're going to have to pull away from the lore that's been in these past two movies because otherwise
Yeah.
it's not going to make sense.
Yeah.
It's going to have to be separate. I think that with Nintendo and Illumination, they have a chance at a degree to keep the same lore that they've established in the Super Mario Bros. Movie and just make it seem like Sonic just lives in this other universe and Mario just all the Mario people ended up on there on accident. I think they can make that work. But the way these
Yeah.
past two Sonic movies have went, I really think they're going to have to pull away from that to make a merger between Mario and Sonic work. Otherwise, I just don't
Yeah.
think it's going to make sense.
I think that would be perfect if they merged it well. They just stuck to 3D animations. I feel like that'd be perfect, especially if they do that for Zelda. I don't think they should even bring Zelda into some real. I could see it working, but they should do it.
For Zelda, I think it should be animated. I'm very curious on how they're gonna, like, who's gonna be the main character, because Link doesn't talk.
Well, we kind of made the same argument for Mario.
But no, it's not the same argument, because Mario makes noises. He has phrases. We've heard him say some words. Name one. Give me one tagline from Link. Give me one.
Hiya! Spinning the sword around. Hiya!
From Smash Bros, bro.
That was in some of the older games, if I remember correctly.
So no, you got to give me another example. That's not a good one.
No.
That's not a good one. That's not a good one. That's like you asking me for a Mario tagline, and I say, "Whoa, like what?"
That counts.
But Mario knows the "Let's Go," "Mamma Mia." Give me something that Link says on that level, because he doesn't have anything and he doesn't talk. Like, this is even worse. This is even worse than the Mario conversation. This is even worse than the Mario conversation. Like, what? Like, Zelda, like, if they make a Legend of Zelda movie, like, Zelda has to be in the movie 24/7, or this is gonna be a silent movie. Like, he has to have some buddies that talk, and he just, he nods. But, like, we just can't follow him by himself.
I'll be honest, I would be interested. Because I'm not the biggest Zelda fan, so my expectations aren't nearly as high as the folks who've been playing since Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Like our boy on the mob, they've seen Antoine on the video, so we can say his name. Him, I want to see what he wants from it. You know what I mean? Like, since he grew up with the franchise, I would like to see his expectations for that. Because they're not that high.
I wouldn't be surprised if they do make a Legend of Zelda movie and they continue with the animation style that's been in Breath of the Wild and now Tears of the Kingdom.
I could see that.
Now, I think it would be with the animation, the Illumination type animation fit Super Mario, because you got Super Mario 3D, the way they've been doing Mario Party and all of that other stuff, but the way they've been doing the new Zelda games, I think they have to do a different type of animation for that.
Yeah, because even if you look at older games like Twilight Princess on the Wii, I think they try going for a more mature-esque thing, like more dark and gritty.
Mm-hmm.
So it depends on how they want it. It depends on which route they go.
It goes back to is really just the audience.
Mm-hmm. But I just hope that Super Mario's proved y'all can do 3D animations and they do just as good, if not way better, than live action. Give these voice actors the time to shine.
I really just think it's the medium. Like, Super Mario found a very good medium, and with it already being a family-friendly franchise, that's, it's nothing to, convert this into a family-friendly game. But I think when we get into the games with, like, the mature audiences, I think it's a bit difficult, because at some point you have to make it live action, Like let's just talk about Uncharted and Assassin's Creed. As a movie, do you honestly believe that they could have made that animated content and put it in theaters?
So here's the thing. Because Assassin's Creed tries to go for realistic styles, but everything that happens in there is unrealistic. Now, I'm not mad at that. My issue is that when they made that a movie, they tried too hard to fit it into reality versus just fitting into the Assassin's Creed universe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I think
if they do live action, they need to understand that even though it's a game and it looks unrealistic in terms of the stuff they do, just keep it because that keeps it true to the world. Part of the reason we hated the previous Mortal Kombat movie was because they try to give us a random character to try to be our audience surrogate versus just sticking to Johnny Cage or who we know.
Mm-hmm.
They try to integrate how the game actually works and try to make it seem more realistic and merge it into reality when that's not Mortal Kombat. That's not Mortal Kombat. That's not how it was. It is outrageous violence, outrageous expectations. It's unrealistic, based in reality. Just do that. Just do that. You know what I mean?
I agree. I was going to say, I think the big issue inside of live action adaptations is that they take it literal. Live action, real people, and they take it literal, and it's like, okay, how do we try to mesh this to reality? And it's like, well, the franchise that you're taking is not very realistic at all, so I don't think that's what we need to go for. I think
exactly
when you make it live action, yes, use real people, but we've seen so much special effects and CGI that we know what you can do. If they can make these big ass trucks and Transformers, you can do this shit that they just did in this game.
Look, and look, even for Assassin's Creed, it wasn't nothing but him going back in time to like Renaissance era, old medieval Italy, and all this other stuff. Just make the hay barrel super thick. That's all you gotta do. Just put extra hay in the barrel when Ezio jumps off the ledge. They're like, if y'all do another game, if y'all do Mortal Kombat, we understand Scorpion shooting fireballs. Just let him shoot his fireballs. You can make the blades look realistic. Just let him shoot his fireballs. It is what it is.
Yeah. I think they focus. I feel like some of these movies focus a little bit too much on the reality aspect when the franchise that you're adapting from is not realistic at all. It's unrealistic. Like,
and that's the joy of it. That's what makes it good.
Like, I think the expectation, because we already have the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see Liu Kang turns into this big dragon thing.
And then bite your head off.
Right, but then you doing something else is like, okay. I get it. Like, he can't really do that in real life, but it's in the game, you know?
That's what we're used to. Even how they changed like the game up and how it was interpreted in the movie. Like, I see what y'all trying to do, but we ain't need that.
Yeah.
We ain't need that. Just take us to the arena in the netherworld or whatever, wherever Shao comes from, and throw us in there. Yeah. Let them fight. That's what we want to see.
I don't know, but my closing statement on this topic is that I'm interested to see if this Zelda movie turns from an interest to reality. And if they are planning to do this Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, I'm very interested to see what medium they choose.
I'm going to say it now. For 4 years later, we can come back to this.
Yeah.
If they make a Zelda game into a movie and it turns out good, Kirby and Metroid coming right up next. Star Fox, possibly.
I can see Kirby being a series. I can't see a Kirby movie. I can see Kirby being in a cute little series.
It would be either Kirby or Metroid. I'm leaning Metroid.
I'm leaning as far as movie, Metroid.
Yeah.
Kirby could be a series.
Star Fox would be fun.
I can see Star Fox being a series.
That'll be the animated Star Wars, Star Trek competitor.
Right.
Which would be kind of cool.
I could see that being a series. Metroid, I could see going both ways. Because you have that alien predator type feel to Metroid. So I could see that being in theaters. But we'll see. When Super Mario Bros. Touched the screen, we started seeing all these graphics about building out this Nintendo universe that eventually leads to Smash Bros. We'll see.
Yeah.
But with that being said, let's go ahead and shut this down. Once again, Ron, I want to thank you for joining me on another episode of the Blerd Mop Podcast. I want to thank everybody, whether you're watching or listening. thank you. Whether this is your first time or your 50th time listening, the watches and listens are appreciated. Make sure you check out those affiliate links and our new link to our Ko-fi to buy you some stuff and support the mob. Or if you just want to give us a donation, click that Ko-fi link and, help us out. It goes towards promotions, equipment. We got hella subscriptions to stuff just to make, this content.
Yeah.
Canva, StreamYard. We just got a Descript so we can put these captions on these snippets. So I mean, like, whatever you can do, it helps.
Don't think we just finna buy some manga and Funkos if y'all subscribe. That's
no,
Phoop ain't allowing that.
No, no. It's definitely going to the equipment, to making sure that the Blerd Mob podcast can provide you guys with this great and enjoyable content. Follow us on social media. We're on Instagram at the Blerd Mob Pod. We're on Twitter at the Blerd Mob, and you can find us on Facebook and TikTok at the Blerd Mob Podcast. And with that being said, this is the Mob checking out. Peace.
Yours is the issue.
The 10 minutes done and Ralph ain't even get the song.
I did it.
Really?
Because
Yours
how you
is
gonna
the
get rid of
issue.
the OG?
No. Let me do it. Now. No.